Okay, let's do it. Hi, Happy New Year and welcome to the Mindy and Annie show, the first one for 2020. And this is Annie Callis from Melbourne, Australia, and
Mindy Stern from Israel. Wow. What a great way to start the new year, Annie. Those glasses are amazing. I love them.
so first one for the year. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, early in the morning here. We're starting early because the day is filled with lots of meetings. So it's a good way to start the new year. So what do you think we should talk about today on the second of the year, January 1, 2020?
Well, like I've got about 10 different things that are running through my head. You know, the first one was, oh, how about let's talk about what we did for New Year's Eve? And then I go, oh, not really. I think we want to give some value to people. And I thought about, let's talk about Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
Because I started training.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, there's a lot going on here. So it's not just about training for Kilimanjaro. This is normally in life, every time we have a big task, is to get it started and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, beginning of the year, we are started training. So I thought, let's just talk about the ups and downs of a journey towards an end goal. What do you think?
I think that's a great topic. And if we can tie it into New Year, I think that the New Year is a big time. People are used to setting new goals. What am I going to do this year? What's my plan this year? What big thing do I want to accomplish? You know, besides being retrospective, looking at the past, you tend to look, what's my New Year's resolution, right? Always looking forward and want to plan the year to make the year a great plan, a great year, do something spectacular. Last year I climbed Kilimanjaro, and that was my project also for the year. You know, even more so. So I think it's a super project, super subject to talk about, because when we plan things, we have this great idea that we want to do something, and then the implementation sometimes gets in the way.
Well, in the champion level goal setting program that we both have, and we can teach and stuff like that.
Sure. That Mac Newton developed together with Blair Singer.
Yeah, that's right. But like I teach it, and I'm sure that you probably teach elements of it when you do, your goal setting with your clients. And one of the steps out of the 12 steps is your baseline. And I was thinking about it today when I went for a walk, and I thought I was really clever because it's really sunny here. I didn't want to get tan lines, so I put on a long sleeve top. What was I thinking? And then I went on to this, and I keep forgetting that where I live, it's all like this.
Wow.
Right? And I thought I was climbing, Kilimanjaro today. It was just like, and I was thinking as I was walking, and I thought, what's my baseline? So it's like with anything that we do, any goal that we have, one of the first things that we need to look at is what's our baseline. But the step before that is doing the get rid of list. And I have been banging on about this for the last 2 weeks of December. And I had a couple of meetings with people and stuff like that. And even myself, I did a get rid of the list. Have you done yours?
No, I haven't. I'm waiting to do it together with the whole group in a couple of weeks. With Blair Singer Training Academy.
Okay,
but why don't you just talk about the concept first? You know, you spoke about two things now. One is a baseline that I'm not sure that everyone understands who's watching what a baseline is, and the second is getting rid of stuff. What do you need to get rid of? Why do you need to get rid of?
So I'll talk about the baseline after. I think the first thing I thought I'll backtrack first because the get rid of list is something, it's getting rid of the things that the emotions and the thoughts that are holding you back from achieving your goals. So for example, for me, procrastination was a big one. So every time I had to do something that I knew is going to be a little bit difficult, it's going to be emotionally or mentally challenging, I would procrastinate. I would still do it in the end, but I would procrastinate. So one of my things on the get rid of list was to stop the procrastination when or work towards getting to a point where as soon as I feel that thing, oh, I need to do this, that I just go, no, that's it, I'm just going to do it. Then I have to focus and just do it, because ultimately once it's done, and I've experienced it, and I'm sure you have to, over and over again, we procrastinate about things, and then once we do them, we go, oh, that's it, that was it. Have you experienced this before?
Absolutely. I mean, procrastination, actually, it's interesting. It prolongs the agony of getting something done.
Oh, I love that. I gotta write that down. How's this? See, this is the best. Every time we teach, we learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you just stay with you so long, and the bad feeling, and it's just torture when you procrastinate, because the idea is just heavy and weighs you down. But when you get something done, if you just take like a step forward, get it done, it's usually very quick and simple, just like you said. You know, you get it done and it's over, and then you can go on to the next thing. There's no reason.
Yeah, go on.
There's no reason to suffer. We all have choices. We can't choose our circumstances, but we can choose how we react to them. And suffering is something that I do not like to do so much.
Yeah, well, I don't either. Tell you what, tomorrow I'm going to dedicate the meme to you. I'm going to create one with your name on it.
Yeah.
I love that. Procrastination prolongs the agony. Oh, I haven't heard it that way, and I love it. That's going to be, I'm going to make it up and put it up there. I go, Mindy said. I like that. So the get rid of list, like I had things like the procrastination, and also the fear of unknown. Now, I've been able to deal with that before, but each year I want to try to keep letting it go and practice, because I also know that everything that I got to do, whether I like it, whether it's scary or not or whatever, ultimately it's either going to teach me a lesson or it's going to give me a great result. So psychologically, I know that, but I still feel the feelings. So I'm constantly practicing and constantly going, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. You know, fear is good, because fear, for me, fear is like a fuel, right? It fuels you to go forward, right? But
or stops you, you know. Here's a double-edged sword. You feel like you're too far away from me. I'm making it.
It is, but at the same time, it's if you use it in a positive manner, then, and I usually say, if I'm afraid, I said, okay, I'm afraid. There's something good coming if I'm afraid, because it's not a fear of being attacked, because that's a real fear. So there's two different fears, you know. It's that when you know that you've got a fear for your life,
right?
You know that there's gonna some real danger. But the fear of the unknown, of I have a goal, and okay, like say for example Kilimanjaro, it's like, well, I didn't get there in 2016. I didn't get to the third summit, only the second one. So I sit here and I go, oh, what if I don't make it again? And then I just go, shut up. No, I'm going to train. I'm going to do whatever it takes and just let the universe take its course.
Right.
So, and also I wrote down letting go of feelings of loneliness. Because I've had feelings of loneliness, and just recently I did a little bit of research into the alone or being lonely.
Right.
And every time I just go, well, I'm feeling a bit lonely. Well, actually I'm not. So I just try to figure out what I'm missing. And, you know, like when we talked about this last time, I'm still sort of dealing with the whole thing about becoming a different type of mom now.
Yeah.
You know? And my son's spending a lot of time at his dad's, and I'm kind of sitting here going, oh, is it me? And I go, it's not me. It's not me. So don't worry. So I was so busy being a mom of a young man in his last year of school, and it was a very busy year, that now all of a sudden there's all this space, and it's almost like I don't know what to do with it. And I've got stuff to do, But it's one
Yeah.
of those things like something is missing. So I just need to get rid of all of that and just okay,
Sure.
that's in the past and embrace 2020, which is my year. So it's going to be all about me. And that's so
Wow.
cool. And
Amazing,
it's
amazing,
really
amazing. A lot to look
yeah,
forward to. But
yeah.
in
So
order to a big change like that in life, you know, it's a big change. You say get rid of it, get rid you have to. I don't know how to. You have to. First of all, you don't have to do anything. I hate when I say that you have to. You don't have to do anything. You really don't have to do anything.
sometimes though, you have to do something. You actually have to do it. But I understand what you mean. You
Yeah,
don't
but
want to tell
this could
you have
help
to.
you. You could choose to do it or not do it. It's all good,
Yeah, that's right.
But you can
Yeah.
choose to do it. It might help you. It might be something worthwhile. But a big change like that, we tend to override it or go try to go past it or get over it or whatever. But that's a really big change when your kids grow up and they go on to their next stage in life and you become a less important, less central, not important, a less central figure in their life, and they have their own wings and they're flying and doing their own things. When my kids turned 18 plus, they still love me and they still respect me and they still want to be with me, but they really want to do their own thing more than that. And I have to let them. I don't have to let them. I do let them. I want them to grow. I want them to be happy. I want them to do their own thing, and I want to support them. But I think that there's a place in there, just like New Year's, this whole going over from 2019 to 2020, 2020. There needs to be a little bit of, I think, a little bit of introspection, retrospection. Look at the past. Look what was going on. See what was happening there. I mean, even if it goes as far as, we learned this whole technique about celebrating all wins. Go over the life that you had or the year that you had or the routine that you had, and go over it and appreciate it and value it and look at it and analyze it and break it down and review what it looked like exactly. Yesterday I did an exercise for myself on 2019. What were my big milestones in 2019? Your relationship with your son and that type of parenthood that you had up until now. Review it, reflect on it, celebrate all the wins, look at all the beautiful things that happen. And then when you go into the next stage, the new year, also, what do you want that to look like? There needs to be some sort of reflection on that. You were talking about goals. One of the goals you have for this year is climbing Kilimanjaro, which I still haven't finalized it and whether I'm going to do it again this year or not. But it's a big goal. But there's a lot of goals. There's a way you want to live. What are the big milestones you want to have during the year? Although I must say, from my experience last year with Kilimanjaro, that we climbed the mountain in the first 2 weeks of July. So that's month 7, and I have to say that month 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 were pretty much focused on the training for Kilimanjaro. I did not have much room in my beingness to focus on anything else. Everything from February to July, through July, and probably even most of August after I came down the mountain, was still focused on Kilimanjaro. And a matter of fact, I just have to say this because we're talking about it. You see my bracelet and my ring?
Yes.
I took them off before I went up the mountain, and because I didn't want to go up the mountain with jewelry, especially nice jewelry, except for my anklet, which my anklet is my relationship with my siblings and my mom. That's the only thing I left on me. I put them on yesterday. I put them on
Wow.
yesterday. So I was still in Kilimanjaro mode. It was took such a big chunk of my beingness that I could totally understand you now in your focus. January 1st, start the training. But there's other things also. So going just back to with your relationship with as a parenting, I think also that needs to be, as well as looked at in the past, but like redefined again, and set some milestones for this year of what kind of parent you want to be, what you want your relationship to grow into with your son, what it's going to look like, instead of just releasing, accepting, and going on without any kind of preparation for it, because you really don't know what it's going to be. And in order to reduce that fear of the unknown, you know confront it now, make it known, at least some aspects of it, or some desired outcomes. Have the outcome always in mind. Stephen Covey says that's the habit number 2 of successful people. Start with the end in mind. So
Yeah.
that's just my suggestion. It's so much like the new year. You close one year, you go to another year. You close one routine in your life and you create a new routine in your life.
Well, it's really interesting. We just went to the movies. I saw a fantastic movie called the Gentleman. It's called The Gentleman. Well, they were everything but gentlemen, but they were very gentlemanly the way they spoke and behaved. But it was a lot of killing and shoot 'em up, and it was great. It was a very, very clever movie. Very good. I loved it. So I went with my son and his dad, and our son. And when I left, I didn't say to him, "When are you coming to see me?" which I do all the time. So I didn't say anything. I just left it. And he said, "Oh, it was good to see you." And when I went to my car, I thought, "Good to see you." It's like you just saw some friend from I don't know when. And I kind of went, "Okay, let it be." And then I get a text from him going, "What are you doing next week? Are you free? Can I come and stay with you for the week?"
Nice.
Okay. So what I thought is that I'm going to sit with him, and I think we're going to create our code of honor for this next relationship that we're going to have. And what is it that he needs? What is it that I need from the relationship? How can we support each other? And I think the only thing that I miss is when he was here. I think we are, how you say, interdependent. We're both independent, but we just sort of, I think that's what they call it, interdependent. So he doesn't depend on me, but he's not fully independent. So I kind of miss that when we're mucking around and we're watching a movie together. So I miss his company, right?
Yeah.
So more than anything, not being mom, because he's an overgrown monkey, but it's more like his company, right? So yeah. So anyway, yesterday I started the year with a bang. I went to a rave party.
Did you really? Good for you.
I started the year with dancing and with friends. So I guess this is sort of the theme for the year. So, guess what my word is for the year?
What?
Abundance.
I love it.
I tell you, you got me with that statement a few months ago, and it has become my word.
Wow.
It has become my word. And the meaning of it, the meaning that you told me, like to have appreciation for it, to have appreciation for what I have. It's like, and not keep on wishing for more and more and more, making room. So ever since that day when we started the financial coaching, I keep going through my house. I got to get rid of this. And I got rid of some stuff already.
Yeah.
I cleaned out my cupboard, like you said, with my sister here. So we put some things out. And now I've got some more stuff to do. And I'm on a mission.
Wow.
And it feels so good. It feels so freeing. And things and I just feel really, really, I feel really good. And I'm starting to feel abundant. And it was like, well, should I go to movies yesterday or should I go out dancing with my friends? And I went, you know what? We're going to movies today. And I went out dancing yesterday. It was awesome. Under the sun, in the dust. We were like, you should have seen us. We were covered in dust.
Wow.
It was so good. So it was a pile of people our age, having a good time, starting the year with a bang. And I thought it was just really very relevant to everything that is happening. So it was really good. But I did my walking yesterday. I started the hiking,
Yeah.
well, I started walking, not hiking yet.
Yeah.
And then today I got up and I went, oh, what should I do? And I said, no, put my runners on, and I started.
Wow.
So
Good
yeah,
for
so
you.
it's really good. And to keep me even more accountable, I joined a virtual race. Have you ever done a virtual race?
No.
So virtual
What is
race,
that?
there's a company in Singapore called 42 Race, and I'll put it down in the bottom, 42 Race. So, so what they do is they have lots and lots of virtual races. So you actually start walking and you have whatever measuring app you have. So I use Strava.
Mm-hmm.
And so I measured the distance and whatever, and then I upload it onto their app, right? So what I'm doing is for this whole year, I'm doing the Chinese zodiac. So each month you get a medal. So
Ah,
you got to do a certain amount. You sign up, you pay like $9.90 per month. You sign up, and then you got to do whatever. So it's 5Ks, 10, 20, 50, and 100, right? So
oh,
you pick whichever you want to do, and then you have to upload the walks that you do. So
yeah.
it adds up, and then once you hit the distance that you decided to do, you get a medal. And
Wow.
I did it in 2016, and I've got this box full of medals.
Oh, how nice. Actual real
And they
medals?
are,
They send you real medals?
yeah, they are medals, yes. With the
Nice.
with the whole thing. I'll take a photo and I'll put it in a comments
Oh,
box.
that is so cool. That will help. You live in Melbourne. Is there a beach?
Yeah, we do have a beach, yes.
Well, it's my recommendation. This is what I'm going to do when I start training. I mean, you've been up the mountain also, so you know as well as I do what it's like. But one of the things that I will do when I climb the mountain again is walk a lot on the beach in the sandy, sandy, sandy part of the beach. Sandy,
Yeah.
sandy, 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 sandy part. Last year when I trained, I did do a couple of walks on the beach, even long walks, but I walked along the shoreline where the sand is, it's easy to walk.
Yeah.
So walk in the middle of the sandiest part of the beach, and if you have dunes, go walk on the dunes, and that's a good thing to do to practice. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
ask you a question. You're talking about Kilimanjaro, and you have climbed the mountain in 2016. I climbed the mountain in 2019. We're part of a tribe of people. Well, a lot of our friends have also climbed the mountain before, or planning to climb the mountain even again this
yeah.
year. It's a beautiful, wonderful experience. But I'd like to maybe share with our audience in the little bit of time that we have why you're climbing the mountain.
I don't know. Back in 2016, I climbed it in honor of the son of a friend of mine who was killed overseas, and nobody knows why. And I found out that he actually wanted to climb Everest to go to baseline with school, and he couldn't because he had to have a foot operation. So I
Mm,
climbed it for him.
wow.
And then at the same time, my father died that year. He died in March, and I climbed in July. So I took both of their ashes up with me.
Wow. Oh my
So I
God.
did it for that reason. This reason, I do it for me. I'm climbing for me. One day, a couple of months ago, I was just sitting there, and I got overwhelmed by this internal feeling. And all of a sudden, it's like, and I don't know how this happened, but it's almost like I could see inside myself into my brain, or I don't know. And I saw the mountain, and I said, that's it. She's calling me. Time to go back, and time to go all the way to the top. But this
Wow.
time I'm doing it for me. This is my journey. And I think the journey is more so about getting healthy, like really healthy and strong again. Last year and the year before, I think I really took the foot off the accelerator. I had a lot of personal stuff going on with the separation and all of that. And I think that I needed to grow in a different way. But then what I did is I took the foot off the pedal when it comes to my health. So I went back into a little bit of comfort eating, or I don't know, comfort eating. I just love cakes, cakes, and
Yeah.
coffee, and lots of
Yeah.
socializing with friends and stuff like that. And it's one of my favorite things to do with my son is we go on a date to this beautiful French patisserie, and they have like the most unbelievable cakes on a planet in
Oh,
there.
yummy, yummy.
But then we started having a lot of dates, him and I, because we both like it, even though we have great conversations there. So I think I reached a point where I started getting out of bed going, I'm feeling really lethargic. So that, to me, that's a sign that I need to turn things around. And when I was at my optimum, and that was around 2015, I think I was at my optimum. I made my health and my workouts my number one priority. And I worked and built my whole day and my business and mothering and everything around that. So when I made myself number one, I was much more energetic, I had more to give. I was personally much more higher, much more, and I just realized that I haven't. And, I've been having lots of drinks with friends and that. And just before Christmas, my sister came and we had a few drinks. And I thought, I don't feel well. I don't sleep well. I said, no, that's it. No more. I need to get this body back. I need to, and I want to get this body back into a really healthy routine. And that's not to say I'm not going to have a glass of wine or a drink. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
will. Right now, I just need to focus. And I know that when I focus on me, everything else, especially in my business, things work. And considering how much work I've done last year was such an amazing year. It was hard and worked a lot, but it was an amazing year. So now it's a good momentum, which
Yeah.
means if I get healthier, then I'm going to have more oomph and drive to go and do the next step and the next step. So
Right.
it's to me, I realize it's really important now that I've gone from being overweight to getting really healthy. And then again, I'm not overweight now, but I carry a little bit. Plus menopause kicked in. So I'm thinking, okay,
Take care of
me.
yourself.
And that mountain, I have this feeling. I want to go back to the orphanage. I really would like to go back there. And there's so much that has been going on in that orphanage and the other
You should
schools.
see Summit Happy Home. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So
So
beautiful. The little children there. It's just so sweet. Oh,
the last time I was hanging out with the adults, because I had that lingerie business, so I took a whole bunch of bras for the adult women, and I fitted all the adult women into bras.
Oh
And
my
I gifted
God.
every single one of them a bra. But the weirdest thing, which I tell you, this is like Twilight Zone. When I packed the bras, I had a quick look on the internet at the shapes and sizes of the women there, because I don't know what they look like. So I went to my kit and I had hundreds and hundreds of brand new bras. So I just picked this and I picked that and I picked that and I picked that. And I just thought, whatever. And I had from like a little size 8, like this tiny little A cup, to all the way to size, 24 B cup. So I had one for everybody. Would you believe this? That I had a bra for every woman that worked in that school, and it
Really?
fitted perfectly.
Really? Oh my God. That is so weird. That is so
And I
cool.
fitted every single one of them. Whereas this time, I want to go to hang out with the kids on this occasion.
I'll tell you what I was most impressed with. What stood out for me a lot with the kids was with the stuff that we brought them. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. But we volunteered a couple of days in the community, in a school and in an orphanage, and we're working with a team called K2. So if you look it up, K2 Adventures, you can put the list. They do a lot of community work and very focused on education and children. So we worked 2 days there. And one of the things that we do is we brought things for the community, things. So when I thought we were going to go to school, so I thought, I'm going to bring toys. What do you bring for kids? You bring toys. But when we took the kids into this room, there's some people brought clothes, shoes, toys, all sorts of things, linen. We brought all of the children made a beeline for the shoes. A beeline for every single child that walked in that door, because we took them in one at a time, so they can choose 3 items, and they had to go out so that every child can get some items. Every child that walked in there went right for the shoes. And one of the girls that I escorted, she went to the shoes, and she was an older girl. She must have been about 12 or 13, and there were no shoes her size. And she wanted so badly shoes that she was going to take shoes that are too small on her. And I told her not to. And I told her to better choose a shoe that's not beautiful in her eyes, but at least fits her, because if she takes a shoe that's too small, it's going to hurt her feet. She won't be able to function in them in the right way. So I don't know about you, but I was so impressed by that. The next time I go to Tanzania, to Mushi, to the schools to help, I am going to bring shoes. And also when I left the mountain, I came down the mountain, we left things for the porters, for the people who helped us climb the mountain. Also there, I took the shoes right off of my feet, my new hiking boots that I bought just for the mountain, which I'll need to buy another pair. I gave them, take my shoes. So, these people in Africa, they're good people, and they don't necessarily have the resources. They don't. It's not that they do not have the resources that we have. And there are things that are important to them. We think in the West, what do kids want? They want toys, but that's not necessarily true. They need a little bit more of the basic things for good living. So, what could be more basic than shoes? First thing we buy for our kids, 1-year-old, to start to walk, is we buy them a good pair of shoes. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
When I was there, they all went for books. They wanted books to read and stuff like that. So but
it's so moving.
I think that's why I want to go. There's just something calling me back, which means that something magical is going to happen. And the way I grew up, the program is like, you never do anything for yourself, really. You always do things for other people. And for some reason, I just went, you know what? I don't have a reason. I just know I got to go for me.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Annie.
And that's just it. So going back to the baseline. So the baseline is a measure. Just like, say, for example, we doing the financial work. So what's my baseline? I've got to take a look at my financial statements and see what it's at, and profit and loss, and where it's all of that, and then start from there. So whether it's 0 or it's in red or it's in black, it doesn't matter. That's it. Whatever it is, that's what it is. And I've had baselines when I had 40 cents in my bank account.
Yeah.
And that was my baseline. So I could lose the 40 cents on I don't know what, because I couldn't even get a roll for that. Or just go, okay, what do you do to increase it, right? Yeah. So my baseline, to start the trek for Kilimanjaro is I carry 7 extra kilos, like weighed myself, I carry 7 centimeters around my waistline and my bottom, which is,
Simona's joining us. Annie, we've got to close this call, sweetie, because we've got another call coming in. So welcome, Simona.
Hi, Simona. Welcome to the Mindy and Annie show. Simona, all the way from Italy. Happy New Year.
Good morning. So we're going to close off. Next week, we'll meet you at the same time, same place. Mindy Stern from Israel and Annie Callis from Melbourne, Australia. Woo! We love you guys. Have a wonderful, happy 2020.
Yes. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.